I come into a situation where you have your AutoCAD file plan all done, all nice and done, but when you try to open it into Adobe Illustrator with the DXF file, in order to edit the line weight and colors and all that individually into its own layers, when I try to open it, it crashes. So this is a way how alternatives to how to open a DXF file into Adobe Illustrator without it crashing. A reference with how to open a DXF file is this video right here, from AutoCAD to Illustrator. So first, you want to check. So this is my original file right here. And as you can see, I have so many lines. You want to use as less amount of lines as you can within AutoCAD to open it into Illustrator, or also more likely crash. So what I did was I highlighted only what I needed, right click, clipboard, copy, and then I opened a new file, and I right click and paste. And also, what I usually like to do, I don't know if this is required, but I like to keep the units the same. And to check your units are right, just check. So that's about right, because this is a pathway. But when I import it into Illustrator, file might be too big because it's such a ginormous file. So a way I found to solve this, if the file is still very heavy and it doesn't work with the DXF file, you have to manually scale it to the scale you want on AutoCAD itself, not using the plot directly on the model. So for my projects, we want to have a 1 inch equals 60-foot scale. So I'm just gonna make a copy just in case if I mess up. So we want 1 inch equals 60 feet. So I'll just make another layer. Oh, make sure all your layers are on because you don't want to scale down missing layers. So first, we are going to use the align command. So we'll first make a 60-foot bar, and then we will make a 1 inch bar. So you can see this is very different in size. And now we highlight all of it and use the align command. So the first source will be our 60 feet because this is our real world feet. And then our second destination, our first destination will be the first point of the 1 inch, which is what we want to scale it down to. Because we're, once again, since I want 1 inch equals 60 feet, we're using a 60 feet real world equal down to 1 inch to fit on the paper. Second source point will be the other side of the 60. Second destination point will be the other side of the 1 inch. Third, we don't have a third, so just press enter. And then do we want to scale the objects? Yes. So now I can delete this and distance. So this line should equal to 1 inch. And it does. So what we can do now is make a quick scale bar. And remember that when we import this into Illustrator, it should be measured out to 1 inch in real life on our screen. And we want to move this down to the 0, 0 so we won't. So when the, it appears on the artboard, it will appear on the artboard so it won't be off screen. So you can either just move it down the bottom corner, or you can use the move command and write 0, 0, enter. Okay, so now I have all this done and hopefully this will work. So now we export the DXF file. So save as, and we'll just call it and then you want to save it as a DXF. Preferably, the older the version, the more simplified it is. Usually, in the video tutorial that I referenced to, they said 2013. We can just try 2004, around there. And I believe if you use this one, this is the most simplest, but hatches will not work. So we'll save this. So it's saved. And now you open Illustrator. So when you open it, so you want original size or scale by, I would say original size should probably work. And we do not need to use the scale because we already scaled it in AutoCAD. But if your plan were to work, and it wasn't freezing and you didn't scale on AutoCAD, you can always use this and it'll scale for you in Illustrator. So for example, I believe, don't mark my words, I believe if it is 1 equals 60 feet, then the scale would be 1 and the units would be 60 times 12. So it would be 720 units. Anyways, click OK. And let's see if this works. So it does. Yay. And now it's centered because we had centered check and it was near the 0, 0 plane. And now let's see if this will actually work. So first we change the paper size to what we want. The paper size provided is I believe 36 by 48. Yes, 36 by 48. So we change the document setup, edit artboards, and change 48 by 36. Okay. And to check if this is actually right, we turn on the rulers. So I believe window. Oof, if I could find it. The object. Oh, it's probably view. Here we go. View, show rulers, and make sure your units on your Illustrator is in inches because sometimes it's in pixels, and we know that our width is 48, and this number right here is 48. So let's see if this is right. So this is 1 inch